Hey Panthers and Panther parents, this is your science grade weekly breakdown video. Just making sure that we're on the same page when it comes to what assignments in our Google Classroom are being graded and how much those are worth. So as we break down our weekly assignments, the first one I'm going to talk about is participation. And again, this is the same participation criteria that we see across all 4 subjects. 3 points a day. In this case, we see science on Mondays and Wednesdays, so it'd be 6 points a week. And how the students can earn these points is the first one is to be present for our live meeting on both Monday and Wednesday. And then following virtual learning expectations, including making sure your camera's on and that you're sitting non-distracting and you're not off on the web doing whatever during our whole group lesson. And then the third point comes from responding to one question, either in the chat or out loud, whole group discussion. And you will have many opportunities to achieve that third point, and many people will go above and beyond. If you go above and beyond, I will be awarding extra credit points to those students who are driving our discussions and keeping the class rolling and making sure that they have been like just awesome participation. The first assignment that I like to talk about are the in-class labs. Now, because we are virtual, all of these labs are being done whole group on our science live meets. So I go through the lab with them. I encourage the students to open up the lab on their computer, and as we watch through videos or demonstrations, I'll be kind of typing or guiding the students through the actual lab, and then they would turn that in. Now, the majority of these in-class labs are actually going to be done on live meets, and then they will be released out and to finish independently. So if you can't attend a live meeting, you can get this information from the meet recording of that day. I want to make it clear that these in-class labs are done whole group. So we're hoping that by the end of that live session, and then I release you independently, you can quickly finish up that lab and turn it in. There's not to be a lot of independent work here. I just want to make sure that you're turning that work in because it's kind of like your class work, not your independent work. The second assignment I'd like to talk about are the weekly summary tables. These are checked every Friday, and they're 2 questions, and they depend on, they are 2 questions on an activity for the week. Depending on how many activities we have during the week, this grade can go from 5 points, so it's 5 points an activity. It's usually about 10 points a week. We usually break down in our summary table 2 different labs throughout Monday and Wednesday. This is done independently. It's usually completed after we have our whole group live lessons on Monday and Wednesday, but we also have that Friday independent day in which the summary table could be completed. To do the summary table, you are going back to the labs that we completed earlier in the week. The last assignment I'd like to talk about for science are the STEMscope assignments. This is basically your student's online textbook. Assignments can include videos. We have STEMscopedia readings. There's concept review games. These grades are directly on the STEMscopedia or STEMscope's website. So just making sure that the students are during independent time, if they have a STEMscope assignment, especially on those Fridays where they're completely independent, they're making sure that they're logging onto STEMscopes because these are actually going to be a good chunk of your students' grade. So just making sure that although that's not going to be directly on Google Classroom, these STEMscope assignments are still a good chunk of your grade, just making sure that they're getting turned in. So I hope that this helps you as we break down your science grade.